So, think about every choice you made this morning, like what you ate, the clothes you put on, or even, the exact thoughts running through your head right now.
Right.
According to this document from September 2008, all of that was actually programmed long before you were even born.
Which is a pretty heavy thought to start the day with.
Yeah, it really is. And it claims that you, along with like 98% of humanity, are basically just an algorithm. You're acting out a predetermined script.
But there's a loophole.
Exactly, yeah. Welcome to the deep dive, by the way. Today we are looking at this singular, fascinating essay titled Fate and Transcending Fate by an author named Zhu Feng.
And what's fascinating here is how this text approaches these really ancient questions of human existence. But it uses, modern concepts.
Like computer programming.
Right. It blends ancient spiritual wisdom with the literal language of operating systems and source code. It basically frames itself as a how-to manual for hacking reality.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because if we're going to exploit a loophole, we first have to understand, the architecture of the cage we're supposedly trapped in.
The 92%.
Right. And the text starts by taking fatalism to this absolute, just unvarnished extreme. It calls the Tao a rigid software program.
Yeah, it posits that the Tao is an operating mechanism so perfect that no person can resist it.
Nobody at all.
Nobody. Everything from your birth, aging, illness, death, your fortune and misfortune, it's all predetermined.
Wow.
And it uses nature to back this up. Like, the Earth has no choice but to orbit the sun. A peach tree can only grow peaches. Big fish, they eat small fish.
And then there's that really grim example about the pig.
Right, yeah. The text points out that from the moment a pig is born, its fate is just the slaughterhouse.
Which is, it's a lot to sit with. If you're the pig, you think you're making choices like, I'll sleep in this mud or I'll eat this food.
But the overarching narrative is already decided.
Exactly. And according to Shui Feng, humans are in the exact same position, just in a slightly larger pen.
A much larger pen. But yeah, the text breaks human life down into exactly 18 factors that are entirely unmanageable by the self.
18.
18. Things like your parents, your race, the era you were born into.
That era one is huge. If you spawn into the world in 1347 during the Black Death, your concept of free will is totally different than in 2026.
Oh, absolutely. It's totally shifted.
It's like an immersive RPG. You boot up a new game, but you don't pick the physics engine. You don't pick your starting stats or your spawn point. You just have to play by the rules of the code.
That's a great analogy. And the author actually asks you, the listener, to rigorously audit your own reality. Like, look at the decisions you made today.
How many of them were actually choices?
Exactly. The text suggests that basically all of them are just inevitable downstream reactions to those 18 unmanageable starting conditions.
So my environment, my brain chemistry, it all just processes input and generates output. So if my starting parameters are locked and the physics engine is locked, that means my future is locked too.
It's already fully written, which fundamentally alters how the text views time itself.
Right, because if it's already written, time is an illusion.
Exactly. The text uses this powerful metaphor that the world is a grand script, and we are just actors.
And we don't get to improv.
No improv allowed. When we cry or laugh or get angry, the text says it's because the director dictates it.
It even says the word mother is a forced line of dialogue, right?
Yeah, that's one of the most striking parts. You don't call the person who raised you your sister or friend. The script forces you to say mother to keep the narrative intact.
Which is wild. And because it's a script, you have that whole novel analogy.
Right, so imagine reading a novel. If you're on page 80, that's your present. Page 79 is the past. Page 81 is the future.
But the whole physical book exists in my hands right now.
Yes, exactly. If you shuffle the pages, any page can be the present. Past, present, and future all exist simultaneously.
So the climax is already printed, I just haven't read it yet.
Right. And the reason we can't see tomorrow is that humans are confined to the script. The text claims that if we knew the script, it would disrupt the whole program.
It would cause cosmic chaos.
Yeah, it quotes this ancient phrase, saying the people may be made to follow a path of action, but they may not be made to understand it.
Right.
And it frames this ignorance as a form of compassion for humanity.
Okay, I have to push back on that a little bit.
Go for it.
Calling that compassion, isn't that just a cosmic spoiler ban? Being kept in the dark feels less like compassion and more like a director trying to keep actors from realizing they're trapped in a really bad movie.
That's a fair point, yeah.
Especially if my destiny is the slaughterhouse. Keeping me in the dark is convenient for the butcher, not compassionate to me.
Well, The text views this ignorance as necessary for the universe's stability. If you realize you're in a game, you stop doing the
Bingo.
quests. Yeah, the server crashes. Exactly. So the system needs you in the dark. Unless, of course, you're ready to be an exception.
Okay, yes. Is there any hope for free will here? Because this sounds incredibly bleak.
There is. The text says, the heaven's net is vast and wide, yet nothing escapes it. But it does leave an exception.
The 1 to 2%.
Right. For 1 to 2% of life, the director will actually swap out an actor and let them transcend the script.
So who are these people? Who gets to be the exception?
The text lists historical sages who
Yeah.
basically hacked the program.
Hmm.
It mentions Jesus Christ guiding people to the kingdom of heaven,
Right.
Buddha Shakyamuni letting go of the ego to cross the sea of suffering, Muhammad, Laozi, and even esoteric figures like Seth.
Seth is an interesting one.
Yeah, using consciousness and projection to create your own spacetime.
Yeah.
And Osho, combining reality and Zen.
Here's where it gets really interesting, connecting it back to the computer analogy. These sages were basically early hackers, right? They found cheat codes in the universe's source code.
That's exactly how the text frames it. They didn't just know what the program was doing, they understood why it was doing it.
So they could rewrite their own code. Like Jesus focusing on an invisible kingdom. He starved the earthly script of the inputs it expected.
Yes. If you don't care about earthly wealth or survival, the physical physics engine can't control you anymore.
Okay, so that's the historical hackers. But how do you, the listener, sitting in traffic or whatever, actually apply this today?
Well, the text reveals the ultimate methodology. It calls it chaotic thinking and acting against the path.
Chaotic thinking.
Yeah. To escape fate, you absolutely cannot resonate with the frequency of the masses.
Because the masses are the 98% who are perfectly executing the default code.
Precisely. So the text gives these radical instructions. It says, be afraid when others are not afraid when others are afraid.
Okay.
Be busy when others are idle, idle when others are busy. Laugh when others cry, and cry when others laugh.
Wait, I have to stop on that last one. Cry when others laugh.
Yeah, it's intense.
Is that literal or metaphorical? Because if someone literally just starts sobbing at a comedy club to break the matrix, they aren't a spiritually enlightened hacker. They're just being a huge contrarian.
Right.
It just seems a bit absurd on the surface.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's not really about the literal act of crying at a joke. The text likely means breaking the predictable cause and effect chain.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if your emotional reactions are entirely predictable, you are easily programmable.
Yeah.
The universe expects you to laugh.
So you throw an error code.
Exactly. By acting unconventionally, you shatter that algorithmic predictability, and you force the director to rewrite your script.
That is wild. And there's a whole framework for this, right? The Lifechanyuan guide?
Yes, Lifechanyuan. It's the path laid out by the author to join that 1 to 2%. But it requires acknowledging fate first, thoroughly understanding the program, and then transcending it.
So you can't just stumble into this.
No, blindly rushing around relying on luck won't work. The text quotes, "The gate is narrow and the way is hard, and those who find it are few."
Wow.
So 98% are driven by fate, asleep at the wheel. But the Lifechanyuan members are driven by knowledge and the mind.
They're hot wiring the car.
Yeah, and Shifen closes with this really bold claim. He says, I have the methods to transcend fate and time and space.
Okay, this has been quite the journey. We've gone from the crushing realization of those 18 unmanageable factors to the whole illusion of time where the script is already printed.
All the way to the chaotic, contrarian methods needed to break out of it.
Right, the 1% glitch. But as we wrap this up, there's a final paradox here that I think you, the listener, really need to mull over.
Yeah, this is the really tricky part.
If you follow this author's exact instructions to act against the path, like being busy when others are idle or crying when they laugh, just to escape your fate,
Right.
aren't you simply swapping out the universe's script for Shufeng's script?
That is the big question.
I mean, are you truly hacking the system? Or just downloading a different programmer's code?
It's definitely something to think about.
A script within a script. Well, thank you for taking this deep dive into the mysteries of the program with us. Keep questioning the script and pay close attention to who is holding the pen.